Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to this very special edition of the Main Event Talk right here on YouTube. I am the Main Event Play, the Super C, coming back at you right here. And tell you something, I had an opportunity to check out tonight's WWE Raw. Let me tell you, this Raw is now, like any Raw, the most talked about Raw in the history of Monday Night Raw. And I want to get into that. Of course, WWE Battleground coming up this Sunday on pay-per-view and also on the WWE Network. A lot is being set up for this whole entire thing with Battleground, the whole thing with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins to defend the title against the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. Of course, you know about the Intercontinental Championship matchup, a triple threat matchup. The champion Ryback to defend the title against the Big Mouth Miz and the Big Man, the Big Show, however it rolls. And also, New Day gets an opportunity to regain the tag team titles against the Primetime Players. And that's all going to happen at Battleground. But I want to talk about what took place tonight on Monday Night Raw. And I tell you, we all knew that this was going to take place and everything else like that. Now, there is one part that I do want to talk about. And, you know something? I'll go ahead and just get it out of the way as soon as possible. The rumors that have been flying all over Facebook, all over Twitter, about the possibility of some of the NXT Divas coming in to WWE, coming into Raw, showing up on the main roster and everything else like that. And we've been anticipating this to happen for a long, long time. So I'm going to start off by this whole thing involving the Bella Twins. Now, everybody that knows that, I'm not exactly the big, I like the Bellas, but to a point, you know what I mean? This whole thing with them pretty much trying to take over Monday Night Raw and pretty much trying to take over, the Divas division and everything else like that. So now all of a sudden, things start to change up. You see, Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, and Alicia Fox think that they were going to take over Monday Night Raw, thinking that they were going to take over the Divas division and thinking that they are the Divas division. And then all of a sudden, a surprise appearance by Stephanie McMahon. And this is something that I would have never expected, and nobody would ever expect. Because you figured that Stephanie McMahon would go ahead and side with the Bella Twins, right? You figured they would side with Team Bella, being, the authority and everything else like that. But, wow, that totally changed everything, didn't it? And Stephanie McMahon pretty much brought up the part about the women pretty much dominating the sports world. And you know something? I agree. Stephanie is right on one thing. The fact that, yes, we do have a lot of females out there that are totally dominating the sports world. And it doesn't matter what kind of sport it is, whether it's tennis, whether it's soccer, or even in the UFC. Women are dominating sports, whether anybody likes it or not. So Stephanie McMahon decides to go ahead and lead the charge by changing and stirring things up on Monday Night Raw, and that's exactly what she did. This is one of these moments where Stephanie McMahon truly is influenced by her father in every way possible. Her dad has managed to go ahead and stir things up on Monday Night Raw, and Stephanie McMahon pretty much pulled that off. How'll she do that? Quite simple. Here's Team Bella. Here's Alicia Fox. Here's Brie Bella. Here's Nikki Bella, the Divas Champion. Then here comes Paige. Stephanie McMahon calls out Paige, brings her out here, and all of us are wondering what the hell is happening here. So here comes Paige right down and needs two more individuals to have her back. So who does Stephanie McMahon call out? Two other divas, but from the NXT. The first surprise was Becky Lynch. And I had a chance to... I've been keeping an eye on this whole thing with Becky Lynch, and not only is she attractive, she is a fucking badass wrestler. I dig her a whole lot. But now, besides that, and this is something that we've all been anticipating, and I know somewhere backstage he was emotional when this took place. And this had to take place over at Atlanta, GA, because the appearance of not just Becky Lynch, also the appearance of none other than the Nature Boy Ric Flair's daughter, Charlotte. Charlotte comes down the aisle and the place just completely blew up in every way possible. I mean, this is insane. You got let's see, you got Team Bella on one side, and well, I don't know, I'm gonna say Team NXT. I'm gonna call it like that. You know, you got Paige, you got Becky Lynch, and you got Charlotte on that side. But there's more. There's more. Just when you think the story ends there, it continues on. It keeps going. Because all of a sudden, here comes Naomi coming down the aisle with Tamina, right? And you figured in hindsight that they would join up with Paige. But instead of it being, like, I would say 5 against 3, it's really 3 against 3 against 3 in every way possible. So let's see, you got Team Bella on one side, Alicia Fox, Brie, and Nikki Bella, the Divas champion. Then you got Paige, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte right there on the other side. And then you got Naomi, Tamina, and then the surprise appearance of the NXT Women's Champion, Sasha Banks. And I tell you something, you gotta give your props to Stephanie for pulling this off. And you know something? The thing that was interesting was the fact that Stephanie went ahead and moved along with this whole women's revolution, this whole Divas revolution that she's talking about. And for the first time, and whether anybody agrees with this or not, the WWE Divas have now stepped up. And they've stepped up in a huge way. Now let me explain this as, you know, as we follow along here. The WWE Divas, it's always been Alicia Fox and Nikki Bella and all this other stuff going on in WWE Raw and SmackDown. But the NXT Divas are making the most impact. They're making the most action out of any, you know, out of any women's division. Now let's not, you know, forget the knockouts. Let's not forget the TNA knockouts. They are just as good as the WWE Divas. So all of a sudden, Stephanie McMahon decides to go ahead and raise the bar up as high as she could, and she did it right. She did it at a very good point. Because the fact that here in the sports world we got UFC, you know, we got women dominating the UFC, we got women dominating soccer, we got women dominating tennis. Here's the thing, to all the male guys out there, if you're going to go ahead and just sit back, relax, and just start telling me all this shit like, oh, well, why should women start dominating, you know, all this? This is a man's sport. Here's the thing. That's the kind of thing that I hate so much, because when guys tell women that they can't do shit, they prove them wrong every time. And take it from experience. I know for a plain fact, you tell a woman she can't do shit, she will do something. I swear to God. And the way that everything was set up perfectly. You had Sasha Banks, you had Tamina, you had Naomi on one side, you had Team Bella on the other side, you had Becky Lynch, you had Paige, you had Charlotte, and then you had all the ingredients of something about to explode. And sure enough, that shit exploded like a bitch. You know, how often do you hear this is awesome from the crowd, especially when the divas come out, right? I mean, most of the time, when it's time for the divas to show up, and this is the truth, this is how it goes. When it comes to the divas, when they show up, if it's Nikki Bella or anybody else, all they go is, damn, man, it's time to, you know, divas are coming out? Cool, man, let's go to the bathroom, man, need a beer or something like that. That's how it goes. Now, all of a sudden, you got all of these combustible elements being put together, right? All being put together, and everyone is excited. I mean, and somebody had brought this up on Facebook. There hasn't been anything this exciting on Raw since 10 years ago, as a matter of fact, when Lita went one-on-one against Trish Stratus for the Women's Championship, and it was a main event of Raw in 2005. That was over 10 years ago. And that's still one of the greatest matches that have ever taken place on Monday Night Raw. Now, all of a sudden, this is happening. The whole thing with the NXT Divas, the whole thing with the WWE Divas, they're all combining now. Everything is clicking away. So I don't know exactly how far this is going to go, but I hope it goes as far as it can. So the question is, what happens next? Are we going to see more of this at Battleground? Are we going to see this more on Raw and on NXT and on SmackDown? We'll just all have to find out, because, you know, this was just the most exciting moment I've ever seen. And you gotta give props to Stephanie McMahon. You know, here's the thing. We all do not agree with the things that the Authority, Stephanie McMahon and Triple H does. But when it comes to what's truly best for business, you got to admit, Stephanie McMahon, you know, props to her for putting all this together. You know, she says that the women are dominating sports. She wants to continue the pace, and that's exactly what's happening. So, big kudos to Stephanie McMahon for pulling that off. And man, that was just exciting to watch. And a lot of people are still talking about it, you know, right now to this moment that I'm doing the main event talk right now. So, okay, now that we got the Divas part out of the way, let's talk about what took place tonight with WWE Champion Seth Rollins. As you guys know, last week, Brock Lesnar went ahead and decided that he was going to go ahead and tear apart and destroy a poor, defenseless 2015 STS Cadillac. I think that's what it was. Man, I tell you something. Is it just me, or was I the only one that knew right away that that car was going to get destroyed? It's just insane. So I'm watching this last week. I see Brock Lesnar coming down. I see J&J Security. I see, you know, them holding, you know, axe handles or something like that, getting ready to fight Brock Lesnar. And the first thing that comes to my head is, are you fucking insane? You out of your fucking mind? This is the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. He will take all those sticks, all three of them, and break them in half just like that, like toothpicks. No problem. So here comes Brock Lesnar coming down the aisle, and then he stops for a moment, right? Like he's there, then he pulls back. He pulls back, he comes this way. Here comes Paul Heyman, coming in with a huge box, got a couple of axes on him, and literally destroys the Cadillac. I mean, all of us saw that coming. We all knew it was coming. Hell, you got this 2015 Cadillac. A very beautiful Cadillac, I might add. I'm more of a Mustang guy, but that's, you know, that's who I am. Here I am watching this car getting destroyed, and all I was saying is, oh my God. I mean, am I the only one that did not see this coming? Hell, I bet all of you saw this coming, you know? So now, I mean, and it's not the first time that a vehicle has been destroyed on Monday Night Raw. Let me take you back to a couple of years ago, back in 2007. Do you remember the incident with Mr. McMahon? Do you remember that whole thing when he was walking like a stinking zombie, and I guess he was breathing in, breathing out, or something like that? And then Mr. McMahon walks over to the limousine, right? He walks over to his limousine, right? You know, he's hesitating to go inside, right? He's inside the limousine with the door out, right? And then as soon as he pops his foot right back in and closes the door, the entire limousine explodes. So it's not the first time we've seen a vehicle get destroyed. We've either seen it destroyed by a human being or seen it explode in any way possible. We've seen the Big Show go ahead and lift a Jeep and literally just tip that son of a bitch over on a SmackDown event. How about, what else do I remember? What other vehicles have been destroyed on Raw or whatever comes first to mind? You know, there's probably so many that I could possibly think of, but that moment, seeing that fucking Cadillac get destroyed, you know it was going to happen. Now, if this was a Mustang, I'd probably be like, oh, come on. If a Camaro gets to, actually, if a Corvette gets to, well, actually, a Cadillac is fine. You destroy a $50,000 Cadillac, that's fine. I don't care about that, okay? You destroy a Nissan, that's fine. You destroy the Honda, that's fine. You destroy Toyota, that's fine. Anything else, You leave the Camaros, leave the Mustang, leave the Lamborghini, leave all that shit out. Leave it alone. Everything else, destroy that shit. Do what you can. So then, here comes J&J Security. They're pissed off. They want to go ahead and try to attack Brock Lesnar. So I knew right away. The first thing that came to my head was, okay, someone's arm is going to get broken. So who gets their arm broken? Jamie Noble. Arm gets destroyed. That's it. And then here comes Mercury. Joey Mercury goes ahead. He gets suplexed right through the fucking windshield. That's it for him. He's done. He's out the fucking window. And then Brock Lesnar proceeds to try to go after Seth Rollins. And then Seth Rollins, doing what he does best, takes his WWE Championship, takes his tail between his legs, and runs like a little fucking biatch. That's what he does. And the same thing applied tonight. The same thing applied tonight. This contract signing. The only person that was left over is Kane. Kane was out in Hawaii. And personally, I don't think he was really in Hawaii. I think what happened was, and this is true, this is just me thinking it, because if he was really in Hawaii, you wouldn't be seeing pics of Kane with a drink in his hand. Or Kane with a volcano. Or all that other stuff. I'm like, okay, he's really not in Hawaii. No, he's not. He is somewhere in the background just laughing his fucking head off, wondering, how did I get a pina colada in my fucking hands, right? That's just ridiculous, So here's Kane, right? Kane is trying to, I guess, set up an idea or plan. So what does he do? He announces he's going to have a contract signing. And immediately, when I heard the words, we're going to have a contract signing, you know how these contract signings go. They don't go too well. No, people, they go ahead and, they sign the contract, and then tables get turned, people get destroyed, everything blows up. Yeah. Like we've never seen that in a contract signing. Give me a fucking break. So, all is set up. Everything's ready. And right away, here's Brock Lesnar relaxing, chilling, and just, sitting, just like that. And here comes Paul Heyman doing what, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman, and I am the advocate for the beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar. I can't exactly do it as well as he does, but anyways. So, here's Brock Lesnar, here's the contract being signed and everything else like that by Seth Rollins. It's already been done, and then it's the Beast's turn to go ahead and sign the contract. Then I notice that I see Seth Rollins trying to go right under the table for some odd reason, which that was his big mistake, because Paul Heyman already noticed that right away, that was going to happen. I knew right away something was up. All of us saw that coming as well. So, here comes, Brock Lesnar goes ahead, get out of the chair. He flips the fucking table over, and Seth Rollins is scared out of his fucking mind, right? And then, what does he pick up under the table? One of those axe handles. The same axe handles that were used against Brock Lesnar last time. So, Kane comes up with this brilliant idea to think that he was going to be able to stop Brock Lesnar. Did not happen, did not work. And then Kane and Seth Rollins try to attack Lesnar. They try to hurt him as much as they can before this Sunday's Battleground pay-per-view. So then what happens? Brock Lesnar comes out. He comes out swinging. He goes ahead and attacks the Big Red Machine. He goes ahead and tries to go after Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins doing what he does best, running like a little fucking biatch, and that's what he did. And then after all that was over, I knew right away the next move was that Kane was going to get attacked next. That was going to happen. And I thought for sure that he was going to break the arm of Kane. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was hoping to happen. So instead, Brock Lesnar goes ahead and takes the steel steps, right? He takes the steel steps. And it was really kind of an ugly sight to look at, because here's Kane. Here's the steel steps right here on this side right there. And there's Kane's leg and foot, ankle right there being shown. And then Brock Lesnar takes a steel step and literally smashes Kane's ankle right there. He probably already broke it, right? And already, let's see, J&J Security is out. Kane is out. So that leaves Seth Rollins all alone to take on the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. That's all that's left over. So now that leads the big question mark. Will there be anyone to save Brock Lesnar? I'm sorry, anyone to save Seth Rollins at Battleground this Sunday on pay-per-view? To me personally, I think Seth Rollins can take him on one-on-one. And this is what I'm thinking. I'm looking at this scenario kind of the way I'm looking at Punk versus Lesnar from 2 years ago. Remember the Best versus the Beast at SummerSlam? I'm going to kind of see it like that, in that way. But I don't know. I mean, most of you people will probably think, oh, well, he's going to destroy Seth Rollins. He's going to kick his ass. No doubt he will. No doubt he will. But I have a feeling that Seth Rollins is going to go toe-to-toe with the Beast. Seth Rollins is going to do everything in his power to stop Brock Lesnar from becoming WWE Champion. And who knows what kind of trick Seth Rollins has up his sleeve. I mean, remember, you have to also understand one thing. There's one person that has not been in the business of Brock Lesnar as of yet. And I'm still kind of waiting on it. And that is Triple H. So the question is, will Triple H get involved? Will that happen? I don't think it will, but it wouldn't surprise me if he showed up at Battleground to interfere in the match with Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So expect that to happen. And then at the end of the night, at the end of the whole deal, here's Seth Rollins coming out like a fucking bitch and being all pissed and angry and telling everyone he's going to beat Brock Lesnar in the middle of the ring. Here's the thing. I believe that Seth Rollins will go one-on-one against the Beast. I believe Seth Rollins will go one-on-one and give us a good performance. But I don't think Seth Rollins will win the championship unless somebody decides to change the match at all costs. And trust me, I think Seth Rollins will still be WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And I think Brock Lesnar will win his match at Battleground, but not leave WWE Champion unless they change the format. That's how I see it, and I know that's probably what you see it as well. We'll see what happens this Sunday, live and exclusively on pay-per-view and on the WWE Network. It's WWE Battleground. Check out the championship matchup. It should be tremendous. Now this is another part that I want to talk about that took place on Raw, and it's the whole thing involving John Cena and the WWE United States Championship. Now, most of you guys know that Kevin Owens is no longer the NXT champion. He lost the championship to Finn Balor in Tokyo just last week. Now, here we are at this stage, and the whole thing that I've been seeing, and this is what I'm seeing already in the past few days, ever since, you know, the night when Kevin Owens lost the championship. The following night on Raw, I see this one-on-one matchup against John Cena and Cesaro. And let me tell you something. Ever since Cesaro lost his tag team partner, and there's also like this big breaking story about Tyson Kidd. Apparently his neck injury was a lot worse than what people expected. So, you know, I don't know how much longer Tyson Kidd's going to be out, but we all wish him well. We hope he comes back as soon as possible, and we hope he's doing okay in every way. But now this gives Cesaro an opportunity to get himself in a championship matchup. Let me tell you something. Cesaro has been going through a lot of these tough matches with John Cena, a lot of these tough matches with Kevin Owens, and the big question is, why the fuck has WWE not been able to put Cesaro in a title match? I mean, for the United States title, or for the Intercontinental Championship, or even place him in the World Heavyweight Championship. Can you imagine Cesaro going one-on-one against Brock Lesnar? Can you imagine Cesaro going one-on-one against Seth Rollins? Cesaro has been on a huge roll, and the fans are really starting to get behind Cesaro. Now, I've been behind Cesaro for a long time. I'm a huge fan of him. I like him. And the thing was, you know, over a year ago, Cesaro, he was already coming up, but already the mistakes were coming in, and nobody was really that interested in him anymore. And then when he becomes tag team partners with Tyson Kidd and win the tag team titles, they were a heel tag team for a while, And then I think after they lost the tag team titles to New Day, things had started changing for, Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. Now more fans are starting to get behind Cesaro a whole lot more, which that needed to be the case because Cesaro is not just this tremendous athlete. This dude is strong. He's the Swiss Superman. He's faced off against some of the best talent. Hell, he's went one-on-one with John Cena for the United States Championship. And hey, in all fairness to Cesaro, I feel he deserves to be in the same league with John Cena. He deserves to be in the same league with Seth Rollins, with Roman Reigns, with Brock Lesnar. Why the fuck is he not involved in this? Cesaro has been taking advantage of a lot of these opportunities to come in and be a part of this main event roster, and he's doing a damn good job. Tonight was pretty much the exception. The fact that we saw Cesaro go one-on-one against Kevin Owens and against Rusev. Now, as you know, and I know some people have wondered, what are my feelings of this whole crazy scenario involving Rusev and involving Lana and involving Summer Rae and involving Ziggler? Here's my thing. Summer Rae with Rusev clearly doesn't make any sense. Even though she looks hot, she's sexy, we all want to bang her, it still doesn't make any sense. And then you see Lana with Ziggler, right? Lana's hot, Lana's great. Yes, we all want to bang her as well. That's how it goes. I'm sorry for saying stuff like that, but you have to understand something. On my show, I'm going to call it like it is. I'm not going to bullshit any of you guys. You know how this goes. So anyways, this whole thing with Rusev and with Ziggler obviously is not going to happen at Battleground, but I think it's going to end up happening at SummerSlam. So expect that to happen. Will we see Will we see Rusev taking on Ziggler at SummerSlam, or will it be a mixed tag match? I wouldn't mind if it was a mixed tag match to take place at SummerSlam. But anyways, let's get off of that for a second and get right back onto what I need to talk about. Rusev versus Cesaro versus Kevin Owens. And it was just a tremendous fucking match. And Cesaro, whether anybody likes it or not, was the MVP of that match. He was the MVP, and I thought for sure that Cesaro would beat Kevin Owens and beat Rusev and move on to take on John Cena for the United States Championship. But instead, that pretty much changed out. Kevin Owens did a stupid move, a coward move, if you will. Goes ahead and leaves the triple threat match and decides, fuck it, I'm not going to do it. I got Cena on Sunday. You guys go fuck yourselves. That's pretty much what I say. And that's the way Kevin Owens would say it. Trust me. I know that for a plain fact. So it ends up being Cesaro versus Rusev throughout that entire matchup. Cesaro pulling every single trick out of his hat. And at the end of the night, well, Rusev got him. Rusev kicked him right in the face. 1, 2, 3. Rusev would win the match, and he would take on John Cena. And man, Rusev was completely destroyed. I mean, even when the match was over, you could tell. I mean, just looking at him, he was all like he was drunk out of his fucking mind and shit. And we all knew right away. I mean, I even saw it coming. I knew that right when they had the match, Rusev was going to be too weak to take on John Cena. And then at the very end, we would see Kevin Owens come out at the end to stop the match to make sure that John Cena is still U.S. champion. So now this kind of brings up a lot of crazy questions for the matchup with John Cena versus Kevin Owens 3 at Battleground. Are we going to have a one-on-one match for the United States Championship, or are we going to see interference from, well, at first I was thinking that Cesaro may interfere in the matchup. But now I have this strange feeling that Rusev is going to get involved as well because of what happened tonight. So I think at Battleground we will see a great matchup like we saw at the Elimination Chamber and then like what we saw over at Money in the Bank. So I expect that to happen as well. But I truly expect for Cesaro and for Rusev to come out and interfere in the match. Cost Kevin Owens the championship. Because since Kevin Owens cost them the opportunity for the United States Championship, the old saying goes, turnabout's fair play. Let's see it. If it becomes a one-on-one match at Battleground, I'm all for it. If they interfere in the matchup, I'm all for that too. Bottom line is, something's going to go down this Sunday on pay-per-view and on the WWE Network at Battleground as Kevin Owens goes one-on-one against John Cena for the United States Championship. Will we see John Cena beat him one more time, or will Kevin Owens prove that he is more worthy to become the new United States Champion? We'll all find out this coming Sunday, live on pay-per-view and on the WWE Network. Holy crap, I got that southern accent thing going. Well, I guess from here on out, guys, that's going to do it for this edition of the Main Event Talk. I wanted to go ahead and get that part out of the way effective immediately because Raw was such a great show to watch. Everything was cool. And of course, like I said before, WWE Battleground is taking place this Sunday, live on pay-per-view and on the WWE Network. So once again, WWE Champion Seth Rollins is defending the championship against the Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar. The United States Championship will be on the line as John Cena goes one-on-one against Kevin Owens. Number three, I might add. The tag team titles will be decided as New Day gets an opportunity to regain the tag team titles against the primetime players. The Intercontinental Championship will be decided as in a triple threat match with The Miz, the Big Mouth, the Big Show, and of course the big guy Ryback, the champion, defending the title, happening there. And also, let's see what else. I believe something else is going to take place at Battleground. The kickoff show, the battle for the crown, as I'm now hearing this. Wade Barrett, the King Barrett, if you will, I guess putting his crown up on the line against R-Truth, or as he's now known as, King What's Up. So, why do I have this strange feeling that R-Truth is going to win? I don't know. A bunch of crazy things have taken place on Raw between these two. Who knows what's going to happen at the kickoff show this Sunday on pay-per-view. So that's pretty much the lineup. That's pretty much the list. Hope you guys get an opportunity to check out WWE Battleground this Sunday on pay-per-view. And like I said, once again on the WWE Network. And of course, WWE Network for new subscribers is free. And is it just me, or for the past 7 months, WWE has been pretty much throwing in the free crap for the new subscribers? If you think about it, it's still $9.99 for the other subscribers, while everyone else who is trying to sign up for WWE Network is getting it for free, and that's all cool. Have I signed for WWE Network? Yes, I have. Have I had an opportunity to pay the $9.99? No. I may, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So, guys, before I go ahead and leave you with this episode of the Main Event Talk, I want to go ahead and bring up this one little subject. This week is going to be a very interesting week for me because I've been through a lot of things in the past couple of days, and I'm just looking forward to tomorrow. I'm looking forward to tomorrow for the obvious reason. Now, most of you that had an opportunity to know who I am personally and everything else like that on Facebook and on Twitter, you guys know that tomorrow is my official last day for probation, and I've been waiting for this since 2013. I've been waiting for this moment a long time. I've had a lot of problems within the past couple of years, but I've managed to take care of the problems piece by piece, and everything is being put behind me as we speak. So tomorrow will be my last day of probation, which means I don't have to put up with any more BS. I don't have to put up with any more crap, and all will be put behind me, and I can't wait for that. And then, of course, in the next couple of days, actually, let's see, probation will be on Tuesday, and then, of course, 7/16/15 is, well, to all the viewers that are watching this, 7/16/15 is my birthday. Yeah, I'm not going to be celebrating my birthday on Thursday, but I am going to be celebrating my birthday on the weekend. So expect that and everything else like that. And now, I guess the big question remains now. I know there's some people that have asked me the question: what am I gonna do after probation's over? Well, there's a lot of you guys that know the place that I work at, and I've been contemplating my future. I've been trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to do, and all I want to do was get back in the oil field business somehow. Because a couple of years ago, I was with Baker Hughes. I was with them for a while, and I had such a great time working over there. Making a lot of money over there, enjoying myself over there, and learning something new every time I was working over there. I was always working at one of these jobs where, not only was I enjoying my job, I was also, having fun, learning something new every time, and it would always. It's one of those times where, most people don't want to get up and go to work and everything else like that. They just rather stay home and sleep. But for me, it's like, I want to go to work, and I want to do something, over there, and either try something new, or try something different, or anything like that. It's one of those type of jobs where you get excited and you want to be a part of it, and you're making a lot of money and everything else like that, and you're also going to learn something new every time. And that's the kind of job that I like. The job I have, guys, it's it's one of those deals where you just want to get up, and then you want to go right back to sleep. You really don't want to go to work. It's that kind of job that you don't want to be a part of and everything else like that. And I know most of you guys probably get an idea of where I'm coming from and everything else like that. You get up, you go to work, and it's not exactly the greatest job in the world to be a part of, but you're there, you're making some kind of money, and that's all you're doing. When you really want to do something a whole lot better for yourself, you really want to upgrade yourself to something more, and that's what I want to do. So hopefully after probation is over and after all this is being put behind me, that I'm looking forward to somehow move forward, go build my future up, and do something different, because I can't remain where I'm at forever. Sometimes we've all got to move on to do something. Hell, I worked at the gun club for over 15 years. I've been there for a long time. I've been loyal to that place, but sometimes loyalty doesn't exactly pay the bills, and loyalty doesn't exactly get you where you need to go. You got to move forward. And when I had Baker Hughes, I moved forward. I made a lot of money, and I had a good time, leaving Corpus Christi, working somewhere else, and then coming right back in every way possible, and enjoying myself. I had a good time with that. And now, here I am working at this other job, and it's not exactly, the pay's all right, but it's not as good as the pay you had when you worked over at Baker Hughes. It's a lot different. So all I can say, guys, is I'm hopeful that all this will be put behind me by tomorrow. And I'm hopeful that I don't have to deal with any of the crap that I deal with in the near future. All I want to do is just move forward. All I want to do is look to the future and see what I can do. Because sometimes you have to look at yourself and you have to wonder, what do you want to do next? What's your next move? Do you want a job that's exciting? Do you want something that's going to get you up early in the morning and make you want to get there and try something new? That's exactly what I want to do. And that's exactly what you guys should do. To most of you guys, you probably understand where I'm coming from. And for others, you probably don't understand it. But that's okay. The only advice I got for you guys is this. My main event advice to all of you is this. If you enjoy the job you have, then it's the job you really want. But if you don't enjoy it and you're miserable, find a way to get out. Because I'm going to try as hard as I can to get out of the situation I'm in. Because a guy like me deserves a whole lot more. A guy like me deserves a whole lot better. A guy like me needs to move forward. And that's what I got to do. So once again, guys, thank you for watching this very special episode of the Main Event Talk. And I hope to see you guys next week. And don't forget, like I said, WWE Battleground this Sunday on pay-per-view. And also, don't forget to check out WWE Monday Night Raw. Don't forget to check out SmackDown coming up this Friday. Also, this coming Wednesday night, the usual Wrestling Wednesday and everything else like that. And just to give you guys an idea, Dixie Carter made this huge announcement about a new GM possibly running the show in TNA. Who could it possibly be? We'll all find out this coming Wednesday night on Wrestling Wednesdays. Lucha Underground on Wednesday, Impact Wrestling on Wednesdays, and of course Ring of Honor and NXT on Wednesday nights as well. I love Wednesday nights. It's basically the new Monday Night War. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon on another great edition of the Main Event Talk. Why? Because I can, and I want to. Any questions? Enough said. Thank you very much, guys.